The observer would like to advise that the following video comes with a trigger warning. The content in this video is of a sensitive nature, so please beware that the topic of this video may trigger you. The observer recommends that you consider your own mental health before you watch this video.
You've had a little... Hold on. Hey... No, that's not what I want. How do I do that? I can see you, but it won't allow me to make you... Oh, no. No. Edit. It won't allow me to make... Hi! You're in Derbyshire. Do you want to know what? Talking about Derbyshire, I have been there. I have been there once, actually. And we'll get into that. That's amazing. Derbyshire was beautiful as well, by the way. Stunning, but not a lot there. What's my accent? I'm from South Wales. Hello from Edinburgh. Hello from South Wales. What's going on here? Just having a chat. Just waiting for me. Come to Ireland. Pay for my flight and I'll be there. Hello, Essex. Hello, Carly. Hello, Plymouth. Hello, oh my gosh, you want to know what? The other day I reached America and I was like, oh, I've made it big. I was like, I've made it across the world, I've gone international. Oh, Chloe Kent has joined. No, Chloe Kent's here for all the good reasons, not for all the bad ones. Oh my gosh, many of you are from South Wales. That's amazing. You're undercover. Okay. Oh. Right, should we get into it? Because I know there's a reason why you were all here waiting ever so patiently for me. Hi Lisa, are you okay, darling? Yes, yeah. I know you're all like, just give us the tea. Let me put my tea down and I will give you the tea. Oh, bless you. Thank you for following me, guys. Hi, darlings. So what I am going to say, right, trigger warning for people who have been in shitty relationships. Listen, I am not here to be a fucking cunt to anyone, but I'm not here to be cunted off by anyone, you know? So I think the best thing for me to do is to just speak my truth and you know, we'll have a little chat after it. Is he? Oh, hi. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Guys, just to let you know, I am going off like my phone just because I've taken like a few days off. Now they've joined. I've just seen. I've just seen. What I will say is I wrote what I've needed to say on my phone. Just because I've wanted to get everything that I've needed to like say off my chest, and everything is like true and genuine and honest to myself. And I just didn't want to miss anything out, you know? Oh, I didn't know he was on live. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Yes, how do I do that? Text me how to do that. Text me how to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I have people just okay. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Is it ... Oh, boom! Is that it? Yeah. Yes. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. Confirm. Hi. Sorry, right, perfect. How do I don't want... Sorry, can I just make one more person a thingy? Do you want to comment on and I can make you... Just say hi. Hi. So hey you guys. There she is.
Yeah.
I can't, darling. No problem. You can go, off you go. Sorry, guys. My little girl was knocking on the door and she knows she can't come in. Right. Let's get into it. I don't know. I'm not really concerned right now. If I think about that, I'll So let's just get into it, shall we? So as I said, I have wrote down what I've needed to say just because I didn't want to miss anything out. So before we do get into it, I just want to thank everyone on behalf of myself and Jodie. I have been in contact with her recently. Guys, she is doing okay. She's doing fine. And thank you on behalf of us both on your love, your support, and, you know, just everything that you're doing to get the message out there that DV isn't okay and DA isn't okay neither, and there's many forms of it, you know, and just because you do it once doesn't make a fucking excuse, does it? So should we get into it? So I know what I do want to say as well, everyone like giving Jodie a load of support. I don't think you know how tremendous she has been when this is happening to her too. This woman has been my rock, and I'm going to try so hard not to cry right now, but she opened up my eyes to so much. And if it wasn't for her, I'd probably still be there believing that Jess was the man that I truly, in my eyes, really wish that he was. So, guys, if there's anyone to thank for this, thank Jodie, because she saved me. She really did. And I'll offer it. I love you. Oh. Right, let's get into it. Right. Guys, it's fine. It's froze. It's fine. Okay. So, let's go back into it. Sorry, guys. It's okay. Start again. Are people telling me to start again? Right, honestly, guys, I've got about an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, I'm not starting again. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. So therefore, I believed me and him entered our perfect relationship. At the start, I thought I had met... Okay, guys, we're gonna try so hard not to cry here. I had met the most incredible man. Someone so protective, so kind, so caring, and so considerate. Just wanted to get to know every single part of me. Just met my daughter. And he came into my life fully prepared and ready to start a future with me. Sorry, guys. I didn't know it would be hard to come on live and do it, but we got it. Oh. I opened up to Jess in ways I had never opened up to anyone before. Jess had a beautiful way of making you feel safe, and he truly allowed me to feel safe. Sadly, I would later on to believe that feeling safe was one of the biggest mistakes I could make. And Jess would use that against me at any opportunity. Sorry, guys. But whenever me and Jess would meet, we would go on amazing, beautiful dates, expensive dinners. That'll make me laugh. I love you, thank you for doing that. I know you did that to make me laugh. We'd go on expensive, beautiful, amazing dinners, beautiful wines. I remember one time we went to this manor. Winston Churchill is like one of my most favourite people of all time. We went to a manor and Jess was like, bought this amazing wine. Well, it wasn't for me, it was like rosé, expensive, like shit, I don't know. And I took a sip of it and he paid like £100 for it. I was like, ugh! It was awful. But he would take you to these beautiful places and show you these beautiful things. And Jess knew I would never had that. I never had that. And Jess knew that within taking me to these beautiful places and having these beautiful conversations with me, he would open up a door within me that I have never opened up to anyone before. He knew things about me I have not spoken about to anyone before. But I felt so safe with him to do that. My travel expenses were paid for. I very much wanted for nothing, like he said I would, that I would be a woman in my feminine energy, that I would do as I am told, and I would want for nothing, and he would be the protector, the provider, and the man of our relationship. Within that, Jess knowing that I didn't have a healthy relationship before, and I haven't had healthy relationships since childhood. I'll answer questions at the end, sorry. So Jessie knew that from my childhood, it was traumatic. It was, something that I struggled with, but I'd shown, like a front that I didn't, but he knew deep down that I did. And he used that as a way to nurture me, to believe that I was safe with him and no man was ever going to harm me again. They will never hurt you again, baby. No man will ever hurt you now that I'm here. You will never have to go through that again. But as time would go on in mine and Jess's relationship, I would start to see issues when, after our beautiful times away, when Jess would go home, I wouldn't hear from him. He would go silent. He would just disappear from having a beautiful time away to then gone. Nothing, disappeared. I would later then find out it would be that he would go home after spending time with me to ask for Jodie back and to save his relationship. Every time I expressed these issues with Jess, he would say, no baby, it's you, it's all in your head, I love you. Don't think like that, this place is a hellhole, I love you very much. You don't understand what I'm doing every day for our future. It's just another day closer, another day closer. And he would make me believe that I was the one that he loved and it was me he was going to have a future with. I truly believed that Jessie loved me, and I truly believed that he had every intention and every genuinity in his words, But so within me believing everywhere that Jess was and that he was this amazing man, it made me to believe that I was silly, that it was in my head, that he could never do that. How could my man, who loves me, who treats me so good, go back home and do that to me? No. I genuinely believe he could never do that. Because I loved him. And if I loved him so much, then he must love me so much too, right? Because there's no way that we could have this beautiful connection and this beautiful bond and he go home and do that. There's no way. I genuinely believed him to the bottom of my heart. Sorry guys, this getting this all off. Woo. You want to know what? Do you know when he says this is therapy? This is therapy. During the course of mine and Jess's relationship, he would take me around to places all around the UK and to Italy, to Amsterdam, to Canada and to Paris for my birthday. Hold on guys, hold on, it's popped off. As much as Jess would be the perfect gentleman, he would start to seem somewhat distracted by his phone, or he would go to the toilet, or he would leave me alone in a bar to go outside on his phone for periods of time. Guys, give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I was like, profusely tears just running down. I did not want to just wipe all that off onto the camera, sorry. So, as much as Jess would be the perfect gentleman, he would seem somewhat distracted by his phone, and he would go to the toilet, or he would leave me alone in a bar to go outside. Guys, give me 2 seconds to get some tissue. 2 seconds. I really need to get tissue. Shit! Oh, God. Oh, I am so sorry about that. Oh, I needed to get tissue because... did I scare you? It scared me. Right, let's get back into it. So as much as Jess would be the perfect gentleman, I said that about 5 fucking times. He would start to seem somewhat distracted by his phone, or he would go to the toilet, or he would leave me alone in the bar to go outside on his phone for periods of time. Oh, no, guys, no one needs to come and check on me. I'm okay. When I went out, there's like a plant there and it banged on the floor. Sorry about that, but it knocked me out of my crying. Once he turned up to see me, so one time Justin turned up to see me and his leg was damaged. He was limping. This is because Jess... Oh, don't start again, Dev, you got this. Oh. This was Jess. This was because Jess was starting to see another person by the name of Charlotte. He would be visiting her the day prior to visiting me. And then would come and see me and then go home back to Jodie the next day. So let me make this clear, guys. My partner would go and see his friends in wherever on earth they lived. Go to wherever on earth they did. Come and see me the next day. And go home and play husband the next day after that. Without any of my knowledge. None otherwise. And that was happening from September 2023 until January, February 2024. No, I didn't know he was still with Jodie. Sorry, I did say that. I did say that at the start. So during the entirety of my relationship with Jess, there would always seem to be issues with Jess and Jodie that I would somehow fix, amend and put him back together so he could be okay again. Jess would say Jodie was causing arguments with him, either with regards to myself or with regards to issues residing in the home. Jess would say Jodie would attack him, or that she would cause arguments just for the sake of causing an argument because she is evil, toxic, and he is living in a hellhole and his life is a living misery. And Jess would say that Jodie doesn't know how to let him go and that she is lost. And she is just hurt. I'm so sorry, I'm starting to cry so much because it's not true. And that's why I want to cry, because it's not true. Our wonderful, and I have to say that part, our wonderful Jodie, because she's wonderful. She is so wonderful. And I'll forever stand by you. I'll forever stand by you. Jodie reached out to me on the 17th of June, the day after my birthday. This woman who has been painted out a bad picture to me, that she is a crazy and that she is psycho and that Jodie wants to physically attack me. Jessie so much has also recently going to say that she wanted to cause genuine harm to me and put me in her garden. That's not true though, guys. That is a lie. But it just goes to show how far Jess will go to cover his tracks. But when she called me, that person isn't the person I received. She called me and she said, Devon, I think we need to have a conversation. Sorry. And we spoke on the phone for about an hour, where she showed me proof that Jess was continuing to try and have a relationship with her. After speaking with Jodie that day, later on in the day, I had met Jess and he had taken me on a surprise holiday to Paris for my birthday. I had brought up this with Jess and I had asked him that if there is any truth to what he is saying, that given the amount of love and how much I have stood by him, how much I have supported him, that he would give me the grace to let me go. I said those exact words. And he said that I knew you would say that. I knew you would say that, but it is not true. And Jodie is lying. And I promise you, it is you. And if you was to leave now, whether it be 2 years down the line, but the moment I leave that home, I'm coming and knocking on your door, because it is you that I love, Devon. And it is you that I truly want to be with. So within that happening, I went home after my holiday with Jess and I had messaged Jodie. I can upload that and the message I've reread. It is so heartbreaking. I, thinking Jodie was this awful person, told Jodie how much I was in love with Jess and I asked her not to hurt him, when that couldn't be so far further from the truth. So within me messaging Jodie, Jess then went on to tell me that I needed to block Jodie from my phone and my life because Jodie was causing issues in our relationship again, and me speaking with Jodie and having a bond with her was not allowed. Bearing in mind, don't forget guys, Jessie and Jodie have a child together. Shouldn't it be like amazing that the ex and the new partner get on for the sake of the child? Isn't that amazing? Shouldn't he have wanted that if he had any genuine pure intentions of ever pursuing anything with me? So Jess said that that was not allowed, which I've really found to be so weird, because we got on so well on that phone. We really did. We got on well. Jodie was very clear on the phone when she called me that she had zero issues with me and my relationship with Jess, and she also supported it. She just wished to give me the evidence, woman to woman, as any woman would want to do. I had even asked Jodie, woman to woman, did she wish to have a relationship with him? And she said under no circumstances was that ever a thought in her mind, and that she very much wanted him out of the house. And she did say, if anyone could take him off her hands, it would be fucking great. So, oh, at one time around Christmas, Jess and Jodie got into a bit of an argument. I don't know why, but Jess had called me, ringing me in a bit of distress, saying that he has left his home and he was coming to stay with me. Of course, as any partner would, you're more than welcome to stay with me. Of course, I'm going to support you. I'm going to do, what any person would do. And I said, yes, of course. Within that, and Jess calming down, I managed to, within that, he calmed down enough to be able to turn his car around and to know that what he was doing at that exact moment in time was not the right thing, and he went home. But this happened a second time in June, when Jess had an argument with his ex-best friend, Melville. Jess got arrested for aggressive behaviour, which I believe is recorded in his home. When after he got released, Jess had packed up his belongings, his dogs, everything, and came to live with me. We went to go and visit an office for him to go and work in for the next morning, so that his job and his business wasn't affected, that he was straight into it the next day, and his business wasn't affected for you guys, and he could carry on as normal. As much as we just wanted to support him as much as possible. But within that, we went for a meal in the evening, and by the time we came home, Jess had went to his car to say that he was going to ring Jodie to say goodnight to his daughter, Winnie. Sorry. That is not the case, and it turns out Jess was very emotional, saying that he had made a mistake leaving the home again and coming to stay with me. This I had no knowledge of. In the morning, I had woken up to do the school run, and I had texted Jess saying, morning baby, I hope you have a beautiful day at work. I'll put all your things away by the time you get home. As I was pulling down the driveway, no, not down the driveway, I don't even have a driveway, down the street, trying to posh myself up there. I don't have a driveway. As I was pulling down the street, I could see Jess packing his car up with all of his belongings. I wasn't gone long at all, bearing in mind the school is very much like down the road, and I drove Aurora. I was gone, but I believe Okay, I'll say 10, 15 minutes maximum. There was no way that could have been done in a glacial place, at a glacial pace, you know? So, as I seen Jess had packed his car, this absolutely destroyed me. It destroyed me to my core. Sorry, guys. Jeff told me that he was going back home because he couldn't be away from his daughter, and that he felt he was doing the wrong thing by leaving Winnie. And when the house was up for sale, he will do and then the house is just up for sale, and that he feels he is abandoning her. And when the time is right, we will do the right thing. And this is in no way, shape or form going back to a Jodie situation. This is what he said. However, Jess drove straight to Jodie's business with a huge bunch of flowers and was begging for her back, saying what a huge mistake he had made. All the while, watching videos of me crying to him, laughing at them, smirking at videos of me crying at the pain that he had left. He then went back to their home and waited for her to finish work when he had dinner ready for her and they sat for an hour, and he told her what a huge mistake it all was and how much he loves her and how crazy I am. All the while texting me saying how sorry he was to leave me in such a way and that he truly does love me. And in a few days later, he was texting me, telling me that he was booking flights for us to go to Canada to visit the land, our home that we were going to build. For Jess's birthday, we went away to Canada for a week, where I had met a lady named Jennifer. Jennifer is someone who truly has allowed herself to be sucked in, just like a number of us, just like many of us, just like myself, just like Jodie, just like all of us. We're all guilty to it, but we have, she's allowed herself to be sucked in by Jess, who is an abuser. Jennifer is gifting Jesse some land in which his words, he will use her to get what he wants from her like he does everyone else. Jess says he has a use for people, every single one of us. So Jess walks into everyone's life knowing that they have an expiry date. That week we did plan our future. Picked where Jess wanted to build his beautiful big house on the lake. We popped Prosecco, set off fireworks and was planning our next steps. I also have the cork of the Prosecco we popped off, if he was ever to deny that. 2 weeks later, Jennifer came to stay with Jess in their home with Jodie to go on a ghost hunt in August. The whole time telling Jodie how amazing she is, what an incredible mother and woman she is, and how much she would love for them to get back together. Jennifer knew I was in Canada with Jess. Jennifer knew I was in a relationship with Jess. Jennifer was then saying to Jodie how amazing Jess and Jodie are as parents, as couple. Jodie even asked Jennifer in her own home, if she knew me. She swore that she never knew me. She also went as far to the point of saying that I looked like a heroin addict. A woman who was so sweet to me. A woman who was so kind to me when we were away. A woman that I opened up to away, thinking this was a woman I was going to live with on her land. During a ghost hunt, this is why Jennifer came. It was for a ghost hunt. There was another lady, her name was called Chelsea. She had slept with Chelsea on this, he. Well, he is sorry. Jessie had slept with Chelsea on this ghost hunt. Jennifer was there on this ghost hunt too. Thankfully, a woman named Sam, who was on the hunt and staying in the room next door, reached out to me with some decency, and she heard them sleeping together all night. Jennifer knew this, and I was meant to see them on the Sunday. The next day, 2 hours into my journey, Jess text cancelling. I contacted, he didn't reply, but yet kept opening my messages, but didn't reply for a few hours. So me thinking nothing of it, that he was probably just getting showered, getting ready after his hunt, on his way to see me, who he was supposed to see me with Jennifer, by the way. Cancelled. Said he was hungover. He was too hungover to see his partner that he hadn't seen for 2 weeks, and Jennifer had come down from Canada that she was so excited to see me when she came here that she planned it in Canada that she on the hunt was going to see me too. So with me knowing Jess had slept with Chelsea, I had blocked him off everything. I had enough. I knew I couldn't do it. I blocked him off everything. Within a few days, Jess was ringing me off a withheld number. And he was calling. He even went to the point as to call my friend Carly as to ask why I blocked him and if I was safe. He then called me on the Saturday and asked me to meet him in London for crisis talks. He adamantly denies Chelsea and anything happening with her, but a moderator on Jess's business account from being on his Discord says otherwise. Jess was very much all over this. And Jess told everyone to leave the room. Sorry guys, people are asking to join. Jess told people to leave the room so he could fuck Chelsea, aka is his horny Novena. After I met him in London, I decided to carry on making a go of our relationship, believing my partner again could never hurt me like that because I had no reproof, no way of not believing him because I loved him and he was the man that I truly believed that he was. After I met him in London, again, we had a beautiful day. We then went on to have another beautiful time before going away to Amsterdam in September. I honestly believed Jess could never hurt me like that because I was the love of his life and I was his wife. Jess would call me his wife. I never believed a man could ever hurt his wife like that. Fast forward to the 18th of September, when we went away on our final trip together to Amsterdam, where Jennifer from Canada came, and she had no knowledge of me coming until we arrived at the airport as I drove separately in different cars. She was extremely emotional and was in a lot of distress, and Jess had no time of day for this, and I was left to handle this situation on my own. On the second night, Jess was very much adamant that he wanted no part of her life anymore, and she had texted Jess asking him to go to her room without me, to speak to Jess without me. So Jess went into Jennifer's room and talked to her without me. I knocked the door and told Jess to leave the room, and that it isn't fair on anyone to do this, and I want to enjoy the rest of my holiday. We went on a night out, myself, Jennifer and Jess. We went to a bar where I was told I had to sit and wait at a table. Jess and Jennifer stayed outside for a long period of time, where throughout the entirety time of us being at the pub, I had to sit there and not move. I tried to move once and Jess said, "Don't move," in the window. So I stayed and I sat back down. Men came up to me and tried to hit on me, unknown that I was with my partner. I couldn't take any more and I went outside and I asked him, "Can we go back to our hotel room?" Jess said yes. Sorry guys, this is I'm so sorry. I've got to do that. Jess that night in Amsterdam. In our room, I'd had a conversation with me and Jennifer. Jennifer and I sat there whilst Jess spoke to us about some things. Jess expressed to me that he was interested in males, but not that he was gay, but that he wanted me to support him during this time. Due to Jess being my partner, I really wanted to support him as best as I could. And I told him that this wasn't an issue for me to try and support him through. And if he needed my support, Jess had this from me. However, he then told me that he wanted to be with a man that exact night. Hold on. Sorry, guys. And he wanted me to sit and watch to support him, and that he said I wasn't allowed an opinion or a say in the matter, and if I was to feel a way about the situation, I would have to leave the room while he was with another man. He then said for me to find male prostitutes for him. I have evidence of this, by the way. Jennifer also helped me to try and support Jess. The next day we went shopping for toys in ways that I could try to support Jess. And she also sent me an email with regards on finding the male like G-spot and all that. We went then to go and get tattoos together. I had dandelions. This was an ode to Jess. Jess sat with me whilst I had this tattoo. Dandelions is a song that I sent to him, and it was on the land, it was covered on the land that we were going to live on. So it was an ode to him, and he sat there whilst I had that tattoo for him. On our last day at the airport, I was severely unwell, and I was violently being sick from about an hour from before the flight, right the way through the flight. Jess could see how extremely unwell I was on the other end of the flight, right through, and he took me to a hotel and he left me there. I was severely unwell, I couldn't stop being sick, it was awful. And he just left me in this fucking dingy hotel on my hands and fucking knees. I didn't even know where I was. I didn't even know where the fuck I was. And I did not never. From that point, after he went home from his holiday, I didn't hear from him again. Three days after not hearing from Jess, I had a gut feeling that he had gone back to Jodie and asking for her back again. So I reached out to her. I can show you that too if it is needed. I told her how we were all just in Amsterdam, how I was in Canada with him, and how our relationship had never ended. I had asked her woman to woman, has he come back asking for you? She didn't need to respond to me. Especially after Jess making me out to be I was previously, and how she tried to warn me previously. But she did, and she explained how he had came back home with a rituals gift set that I had picked, by the way, and gifted to her when he had got home. And he said that he had a soul-opening moment of realising it had always been her. Jennifer backed this up by attempting to cry to Jodie on the last morning of her there, saying how she desperately wants Jodie to move to Canada, and how it has always been her, and what an incredible woman she is. All the while knowing we had just, again, a cycle, just been in Amsterdam together for a week. And whilst we were in Amsterdam together for a week, Jennifer spoke evil of Jodie to me, saying that she was a bad woman. This just shows you that Jennifer is covering and protecting Jess from his own lies. I had messaged Jodie and had said Jess has been asking for her back, which I received. I ended my relationship with Jess, telling him that it was over on the 25th of September. Jess has contacted myself right up until Saturday, when he has said that he loves me and we were so close to having it all, and how he was just going through so much with Jodie, and how I got dragged into his shit show of life and a relationship and his issues, and I never ever treated Jess bad, and how he has always said I have saved him, and how I was the first person to show him love in 30 years. I have received the same proof that Jess has said this, the exact same words to Jodie too. Excuse me, sorry guys. Aurora, stop it please. I'll read that in a moment, okay? Thank you, darling. Okay, so should we get on to New Year's Eve? I know everyone is definitely wanting to hear about New Year's Eve. Yeah? Okay, so now that I have spoken about the entirety of the relationship and what's happened, I can get on to New Year's Eve. Jess's version of events regarding New Year's Eve are not true. What happened that night was, yes, we had a beautiful, wonderful night. We had so much fun. So much fun. And a lot of alcohol was involved. Regardless of Jess having been to rehab for alcohol and drugs in the past. The events that happen next will explain in a bit more detail why this is. You know, why Jess had to go to rehab. Me and Jess had a lovely, amazing New Year's holiday before that event. But on New Year's Eve night, at midnight, as I was going back to the hotel with Jess, as I was walking into the main hotel entrance doors, he had asked me to wait for him by the elevator. Me being his partner and always do as I am told, and in my submissive feminine energy that he has always expected and demanded and commanded of me. I went straight to the elevator to wait for him without hesitation, without question, without qualm. By the time Jess had come to the elevator, Jess was asking me where I had been and... Oh, sorry. Oh, please, it's telling me to do a puzzle. 2 seconds. There we are. Sorry, I had to do that. So, Jess was asking me to wait for the elevator. Jess had came in after some time and I was asking me where I had been and that he was looking for me. I said, no, darling, you asked me to wait for you here. And this is where I have been waiting for you. Jess continued to argue with me regarding this, and hotel staff had come to the elevator saying that if Jess was not to calm himself down, that they were going to ring the police on him and have him arrested. And I had said that there was no need to do that and please do not ring the police. I said that I was going to take him up to bed. Whilst we were in the elevator, Jess continued to argue with me. As we entered our bedroom, Jess erupted into outbursts of anger and started screaming at me, "I gave you everything, Jodie." And started grabbing me and throwing me around the bedroom where I had landed on my knees multiple times and I had nail extensions ripped from my nail beds. I had fractured a thumb and there were bruises to my behind that I cannot post on TikTok. Jess says that he was on his hands and knees, unable to breathe. That was me. I was on my hands and knees, crying, begging Jess, what could I do to make it better, to fix the situation that had caused him to somehow end up in this state. I just wanted to support him. After Jess never, ever once tried to leave the room. Never once did he try to leave. After some time of Jess being in this state, Jess and myself ended up in the bathroom where he was smoking a cigarette out of the bathroom window doors. Sorry guys, people keep asking to join. Oh, don't show for 10 minutes. Can you do that? Because that is so annoying. Jess screamed at me again, "I gave you everything, Jodie," and pushed me to the ground again. I stayed on my hands and knees this time, pleading with him that I was not Jodie. Jesse then looked at me, put his hands behind his back after doing everything that he had already done, and had said, "I am not going to hurt you, Devon." And I said, "I know, baby. Please let me fix this." Jess started screaming and shouting again, "Put me to bed now. You have fucked it. Get me to bed now. Right now." So I did, and I sat and I waited for Jess to fall asleep. I then packed up my belongings and I went straight to the airport without him. I was petrified. That was the rest of our holiday. With the videos of me showing Jess what he had done, me telling him I could not accept that type of love. Jess had told me he had had a breakdown, that he had blacked out. He couldn't remember that sorry and that he loves me and he cannot remember a single thing. Jess spoke to me in a way that allowed me to believe that because of recent events with Jodie, that he had a psychotic breakdown and that he cannot remember anything and that he loves me so much and he could never hurt me because I was his beautiful little pineapple princess, his beautiful little diddy dot, who he could never hurt, and the thought of hurting upsets him so much, and that he was so sorry. Jess predominantly said to me that he cannot remember a single thing to me. Not a single thing, he said. So when he spoke in his public statement, when he said what he said, it was not true. The only thing he got correct was that I was supportive and that I was nurturing. And to be fair, I was an absolute amazing partner for him throughout the entirety of our relationship. I took everything on. I took all the abuse. I took all the emotional abuse. I took all the mental abuse. I took all of him ghosting me for days and making me out to be that I was insane and that I was the one that was insecure. I took everything. I took him tracking me as love. I took him sleeping with other people and making out it was in my head. I took him going back to Jodie time and time again because he wanted her back and making out to me that he loved me and that I'm going insane. I took absolutely everything Jess was and his actions and his behaviour. I took everything due to him being under extreme amounts of stress and living in toxic environments. and that he loved me and that he was just in a dark place. And in time, one day, we will get there and we will have our happy ever after, and the man that he was showing himself to be was still there. It's cutting in and out. Jess thinks it's because I am in a new relationship. Not I am in a relationship, because I'm not. I haven't seen anyone, sorry. Could never. Jess thinks it's because he is in a new relationship that I have spoken out. I have done this because for the past 14 months, he has allowed me to believe that he has loved me and has brainwashed me into believing me an abusive relationship with him denying us love. Future women should be protected from this man, as I have met this man on this platform. Jess has said he never dates his clients. Since my entire relationship with Jess, he has cheated on me with multiple women, and they are all clients, apart from Jodie. This is how he meets women, by giving them readings, by finding out their vulnerabilities and working their vulnerabilities to his strength. My love for Jess was never, ever bad. It was pure and it was honest. I only ever wanted good for Jess. Never bad. I'm just speaking up for everyone that deserves to have a voice, where men like Jess come into vulnerable people's, such as myself, life, and think that it's okay to destroy them. I am saving future women from going through what I have gone through, and Jodie has gone through too, and all of his exes. Please don't forget that right up until Saturday, Jess was begging for me back, and his ex saying how much he loved me and also how much he loved her, and how close me and him were so close to having it all. He also texted me asking me the anniversary of the day that we met. I was never ever abusive to Jess. Never ever. All I ever did was love him, and so did Jodie. But this shows with Jess contacting me right up until Saturday, with me unbeknown to this girl, that he had a partner, and he was still asking for me back and still asking for Jodie back. Jess states he didn't touch me in my video, not in his video. You will clearly hear me state, I do not want to be thrown around by anyone. He threw me around. Jess said I had no bruises done to me in any places other than my knees. You can see on my video that I had posted, I had bruising to my thumb when I had a fractured thumb. I also clearly state I have a big bruise on my bottom, and you can clearly see ripped nails. So this would hopefully clearly show you guys that his public statement is in fact, again, a lot of lies. You don't sustain those type of injuries and those amount of injuries and that amount of bruising from a little bump to the floor. The size of me, I am 7 stone. I am 5'2". If Jess wanted to get out of the way, which by the way he didn't, he bloody sure as well could have. In regards to saying he never called Jodie fat or cheated, he did both. He would regularly tell me her weight made him feel sick, and then led him to telling me that I was never allowed to go over 7 stone. It simply wasn't up for discussion. I was not allowed to go over 7 stone. Jess also mentioned to me how his life would be so much better, how life would be easier if Jodie had died in a car crash. When Jodie reached out to me on the 17th of June, she was unbeknownly miscarrying their child. Her second miscarriage with Jess. This was profusely denied by Jess, and that he was nowhere near her. Jodie then sent me proof of both. Jesse is very clever at making you feel that you're crazy, and he tells you things are not up for discussion. This is how things are going to go. End of. So whilst the mother of his child was miscarrying, he was with me. Since posting the video, I have had multiple women reach out to me, ex-friends, ex-partners, quick sex partners. The amount of people that have come to me. Jodie has chosen to stay silent, and I have checked in that she is okay. She has my full support whenever she is ready. And guys, I know one day she will be. You bet your fucking bottom dollar she will be. Jess made me feel that Jodie was evil and that she was horrible and abusive. When in fact Jodie tried to save me. She risked her own safety to save mine. The videos Jess has decided to show on a live on his business page, one of Jodie in the kitchen, where you can clearly hear her voice shaking, saying, "Tell me what you said, Jess, just tell me." A voice note of me, and a voice note of me screaming. Guys, I just want to explain that voice note, right? That was when I just found out that he was in a relationship with this girl. But 2 days previous, he was telling me we were so close to having it all. He had every opportunity to tell me he was in a relationship. But Jesse denied and thought I would never find out. You can see that the way that I have acted is out of reactive abuse from an abusive relationship of 14 months. Unless you've been in an abusive relationship, you'll have no idea how horrific reactive abuse is. The mental abuse was worse than the physical. The physical was only ever once. Jessie denied to share about a woman's sexual abuse that happened when she was a child. Jessie also decided to share about a woman's sexual abuse that happened when she was a child. Mock it, expose it, and the abuser, knowing that it would put this woman in danger. This is a man who, for a living, has a reading called the Angel Reading. I am now trying to unlearn behaviours that Jess has taught me, and that I actually have a voice and that I will use it. The police have been informed. Yes, there is a case open. Yes, Jess currently is on bail, but I won't be silenced either. And hi. How are you doing? Hi. How was that? That was one of the most hardest things. No, let's go. Let's get into it. Chloe, do me a favour though. If there's questions, pin them. Guys, I'm so sorry if I've missed a lot of your questions. To read that, I found so hard. Having to relive and, you as women, you want to know what? We're very emotional thinkers. And when we relive past events, it's like as if we're going through it again. And it's awful. It's absolutely awful. I used to have dreams, This is so funny. Jodie will love this. I had a dream. When was it? Just before Paris. It was actually no. It was just before Paris, and whilst I was in Paris, I had a dream about me, Jess, and Jodie. The first dream was that Jodie and we were sat on this wooden oak table. It was like a cherry oak, and Jodie was sat on her own at a table, and there was invisible people behind her. Please answer what, sorry? Does he have any I can't answer that. I was never part of Jess's business, but I think if you could tell by the way he treats his women. Sorry. You know, they do say mediums are not supposed to come in your life and leave it bad. You know, that psychics are not supposed to negatively stunt your journey, that they're not supposed to leave your life in a worse way than when they came in. What was I saying now then? I've been distracted now. Yeah, that I had a dream that Jodie was sat on this table, around an oak table, with invisible people behind her, and it was just me and Jess on the other side, and all I can remember was in this dream was looking up at her, laughing, and just woof, flipping the tables like the tables had turned. And then I had another dream whilst I was in Paris with Jess, that me and Jodie were very good friends, that we were sat there in the living room, like in this room, all white, talking, and Jess hated it, and yeah, the next thing I was told that I wasn't allowed to be friends with Jodie. You know, Jess is on his own journey, guys, and I'm not here to attack him. Is he in a relationship with Jennifer? You never know. No. Does he have visitation with any of his children? No, Jess is not allowed around any children whatsoever. There is a high-risk case with regards to Jesse, and he's not allowed around children whatsoever. Why? I don't know why he isn't allowed to see his children. Probably due to how he treats his partners. He definitely has childhood traumas for sure, but I'm not here to attack that. I just really wish that he would get help and stop being with women until he would fix himself. Does that include the new baby? What new baby? Why did he go to jail? For drink driving, I believe. Is that true, Joe? How long were we together? 14 months. He claims to be a counsellor. Oh, I know. You want to know what? Jess claims to go down on a woman for hours, but he don't, you know. Did he find a man? Well, he guys, I was so happy yesterday that he said, did he say that he wished he had a husband? Did he? No, I never found him a man. Which I'm so thankful for, because to be fair, I think I really would have got badly traumatized by that and triggered by that. No. Are the police supporting us both? The police are involved, that's all I can say. Maybe he needs a man. Does he still try to contact me? No. Not as of yet. Since me coming on TikTok and the other day. Hi. How are you all doing? Are you all okay? Guys, I'm sorry if that was a bit of a big pill for people to swallow. I know it can be quite traumatizing. Did you know I didn't even realise how bad my relationship was until I started speaking about it? Like, Dev, that's abuse. Dev, he's doing this. Dev, why couldn't you see that? Am I wary of him contacting me? No, I'm more wary of him turning up fucking through my door right now. Guys, yeah, do you have support going forward? Guys, yeah, thank you for all the support. Yeah, don't forget to follow me. And because the support means so much and I love it. Love you all so much, and being a part of this journey, I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for you. So don't forget to follow me, to like, and you know, to just grow with me on this journey as we unlearn traumatic behaviours and become a healthier version of ourselves. Can you come up? Come up where? How many baby mums does he have? Well, we have our beautiful Jodie. We have another with Jamie, and I do believe there might be another. Is it all clout him moving to Canada? No, I don't believe it's clout. I just believe Jess runs away from his problems, and Jess has caused so much of a big problem here that he doesn't know how to deal with it, and the only thing Jess knows how to do, as you can see, is run. So Jess will run anywhere where people don't know him, where people will validate him and his feelings with no clue of what's actually going on at home. And and until Jess starts to then show who he truly is out there, they'll believe him, and I'm so sorry for them out there. But until Jess starts to focus on himself and start truly working on the issues that he's suffering with, then it doesn't matter where he goes. Yeah, and he generally did think I would be quiet, to be fair, because I have been nothing but an amazing partner. And he genuinely said that as well. I just thought, you absolute stupid tosspot. Thank you for doing that, though. Thank you for supporting me, for saying I was an amazing partner. I really, really, thank Christ, that's the only truth you fucking told. How does it, you want to know what? She was a client of his. She only known him a few months, and she just wanted to give him land. And then, before I know it, I'm out in Canada looking at land where I'm going to build my home on. Did you get together whilst, okay, so that is quite a thingy question, because personally myself, I would say no, but Jodie would say yes, because Jess was still very much acting like the best partner at home to her, acting like I was psycho and I was crazy and I was like this husband stealer. How does he doesn't own there. He's out. He's gone. Do we have any other questions? Sorry, guys. Oh, it's 22, guys. Everyone make a wish. No, you want to know what? I love it that me and Jodie we have never had that, If he's on bail, how can he move to Canada? I haven't got a clue. I feel like you and Jodie need to do a regular Could you imagine? That would be so funny. Is there a warrant out for him? Apparently so. Do I believe he's psychic? No, fuck, not anymore. Sorry. I just think if you could do what you did if you could do what you did to me and fool me as easily and as thingy as you fooled me and brainwashed me as fucking bold and brazenly as he has brainwashed me, how can that be, anyone of good and pure and genuine intentions, That's not of a healing nature, is it? Any man that uses a woman's vulnerabilities knowing that how I've always wanted a beautiful family, how I've always just wanted my husband, he go to work, I stay at home, that's all I just wanted. Was you going to move? Yes, I was. Yes, I was going to move to Canada, yeah. And me and Jess were house searching since last year, actually. Practically since we got together. Oh, Derbyshire! There's a lady on here, she's from Derbyshire. Talking about Derbyshire, me and Jess went to Derbyshire to go and meet Melville. And he was ringing me all night, please come see me. There's a home here, I really want you to see it. It's our future home. I was like, right, okay. He's like, no, Deb, honestly, I need you. I need you. I'm like, right, okay, Jess, if you say you need me, I'll be there. First thing in the morning. But I was like, right, I've got Aurora. He's like, bring her. Just bring her. She'll love it. She can see your future home. I'm like, okay. Does he have a PhD? I haven't got a clue. But you can get a PhD off eBay, apparently. So, yeah. So we said, just bring her. And, you know, come and check it out. Oh, my gosh. I met Melville. George, can you remember what I told you? Melville was like this. Oh my gosh, bless her heart. She was fuel of like rage for me because obviously Jess was playing husband back home and I was none of the wiser. Yes, I was one of Jess's client. And I was there like, hi, how's everyone? And she's thinking, you dirty little hoe, you dirty little whore. I'm going to stab you with a fork if you keep on looking at me in this direction, let me tell you. Oh, Melville was one of Jess's friends. Yeah, so Jess asked me to go there to go and look at a home that he found for me and him. So I go there, look at this home, stay there. The next day I come home. Jess leaves me, texts me, Dev's over. I don't know what about that. I'm like, right, okay. And then it's because that night as well, he was ringing Jodie, asking her to go there and look at the house for them as well. Oh, you couldn't write this shit. Did he stop you seeing? No. No, Jess never stopped me seeing friends and family, and I will say that. But, you know, how could he? I'm all the way over here. I'm 300 miles away. How could he stop me from seeing anyone? But I don't go out anyway. What happened with him in Melville? Jess had an, do you know the night that they done that live? Have you seen them on their last live together? When was it? June? Yeah. They were on live together, and by the next morning, Jess was being arrested for aggressive behaviour towards Melville, which got recorded on their house cameras. Did he give me a correct reading? I plead the fifth. What's the story about the older woman who he claims was abusive? It's nothing to do with me. I'm his recent ex, not his 4 years ago ex. I don't know. I don't know the story on that one. I really don't. Me and Jodie are twins. You want to know what, guys? Can I say something on that, right? Like Jodie would all, like a lot like Jodie, how beautiful she is. Can you see how beautiful she is, right? And a lot of people would say, Devon looks like Jess's ex-wife. Devon looks like Jess's ex-wife. And then someone commented on Jess's public statement about me, which is a whole load of fucking horse shit. That I look like a wish version of Jodie, and I was so happy about that. I was like, yes, such a compliment. I would rather look like and be a wish version of Jodie than any of his exes. Like, no offense to them, obviously, but I fucking loved. Have you seen how gorgeous she is? I'd rather look like her. Do you get what I mean? Have me and Jodie met in person? No, not yet. But I'm definitely going to. How tall is he compared to you? So I'm 5'2" and Jess is 6 foot. Joe, is he actually even 6 foot though? Do you get what I mean? Thank you for saying that I'm beautiful. Thank you all. Oh, guys, he's not. Guys, did you know he's not even Italian? He's not 5'10". No, he can't be. I'm 5'2", so I'm tiny, so anyone's tall to me. Oh, guys. Do I see all the negative videos about him? What now? The ones that I'm creating or the ones previously? Well, to be fair, I had always, and Jodie was as well. We were Jess's loyal warriors. So we never give any time of day to the videos about Jess because we truly generally wanted to believe that that Jess was true to what he said. How did I go from client to dating him? Well, I tell no lies. I tell no lies. Still gonna paint me in a good light. One day, so Jess gave me my reading, and Jess said within 5 months I was going to have surgery. By August, like the start of August, so I think about 5-6 days, I was in hospital having emergency surgery. Came out and I was like obviously lying on bed, and I was like, he was on live and I was like, oh my god, why you said, well, maybe you come to, like, you know, tonsils taken out, couldn't do it. What you said was true. Honestly, can't believe it. He's like, what do you mean? I said, I've had surgery. And he's like, oh, Dad, pop us a message. Well, I fell very ill with sepsis and is it HMRC? You know, the hospital superbug that bloody triggers out antibiotics, and when you have sepsis you need antibiotics to get rid of the virus. So I was in my home practically fucking like hallucinating, right, in bed, like dying. I thought like this man that I never met before was in my bedroom. I didn't know what was going on. The next thing, I'm in hospital. A few days later, I commented, I'm still in hospital, I see him on live. And he's like, pop us a message! Again, he said it. I'm like, go on then. So I was nice to him, you know? And I wasn't flirty at the start. So I messaged him. And I was like, hello, still here. What's happened? Oh. And then the next thing, he told me that, I don't know what he was saying, I don't know what he said, but him and Jodie had split. And I was like, what? And then one thing led to another whilst I was in hospital, and we ended up having phone sex. Oh, I can't believe I just admitted that. Within 2 days of me coming out of hospital, I was meeting Jess. Yeah, so that's how that happened. Sorry, that was the MRSA. Took a year to recover, sorry. Don't know what happened there. Don't even like it. What was the last straw for me? Saturday. No. Saturday. I woke up Saturday. I was like, boom. And I know what, guys, I'm not gonna lie. You heard me screaming like, wah! And you want to know what? I'm not gonna be stupid enough to say I didn't do it, because I did. But there's a previous voice message, which actually I don't mind showing you. I don't know, you ready, guys? On that day, actually it wasn't on the day, it was on the Thursday, so 2 days previous, Jess had messaged me. I don't know if you can see that. It says morning. And I had said, I don't know if you can hear this, but let me turn it up.
And then you just fuck off, like you're not speaking, you're not saying anything. It's not enough, you know, it's not enough. It's not fair, like anyone, like, you know my heart is breaking, you know how deeply this is annihilating me. I ain't doing fuck all, you're not saying fuck all, you're not doing fuck all. So I know, you know, like morning it's just not enough, it's not enough. I've had fucking worse day, my mother's husband's had stroke. He's in the hospital, so I'm dealing with that. And all I want.
But I'm a shouter. And
just something from you.
And I'm abusive.
Something. The fucking morning just ain't gonna cut it. It's not enough.
But I was begging for Jess back when he was saying morning, and I was saying that's not enough. No, Jess doesn't do face-to-face readings. It is over the phone via WhatsApp or whatever. But I'm not gonna fucking start here promoting his business. Thank you. Does he use just for men on it? Honestly, guys, I don't know what's going on with his hair and beard. Don't ask me. He's looking like fucking grease lightning right now, I know. It's nothing to do with me. Maybe it's his new girlfriend's vibe. I don't know. Guys, I fall ill every single time after I see Jess. When we went away to London in May, on my way home after seeing him the next day, I felt so ill. I had to go into hospital. I had to have 6-hour infusions a day. They said, Devon, you could die. Jess wasn't even there. He didn't even care. They said, Devon, you're dying. Jess wasn't even traceable, wasn't even contactable. Didn't give a fuck. His own partner. Did he cheat on you with a new girlfriend too? You want to know what? With Jess saying that we split up in August, it does sound like as if this girl has been around some time. But there we are. You know, but that's what they do, don't they? Whilst their ex is in out there, all supply, they're filtering a new one and already getting her ready to fill the place of the woman that he's about to discard. Why did I want him back after he hurt me? Because trauma bonding is a real thing. And Jess, sorry guys, Jess is very good at making himself out to believe that he is this darling, and I genuinely believed he had a blackout and he really was so sorry for hurting me. I genuinely believed that. He is the most clear narcissist. Is he a real psychic? I don't know, but if you can go by how he treats his women and his children. Do you think he cheats on readers? Well, he cheats on women, guys! If he cheats on women, he cheats on readings! The abuse can't be accused, okay? Like, that's how I feel right now. Do you believe? Oh, absolutely! Oh, of course, I believe there's a lot more women. And there has been women that's reached out to me going, never knew of you. And Jess would always say I was his best kept secret. Yeah, well, not anymore. Not anymore. Don't keep baby in the corner. What's the latest? Latest on what? Did the reading he gave you come true? No. How was it? How was the anxiety healing session actually? Was it good? Was it bad? No, I haven't got any kids. Thank God. You want to know what? Me and Jodie said this. She went, at least you haven't got to have kids with him. And I haven't. So I was thankful for that. I was like, oh, could have. Lucky escape. Do I believe there is more? There is more women. I've already read that one. Sorry. I remember. I love how his followers have gone down. Deserves to be cancelled. Jess needs to be taken off of this platform, not because he deserves to be cancelled, but because he's unwell. And women and people need to be saved from him just because he needs saving from himself. You know? Like, how Jess can... It really, really does get to me, and I say it to him all the time, especially when he's had like a dark day, how then he will come on live and then do a live and then preach about how a person should be like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You need to be taking some time out, taking some rest, and, you know, just rejuvenated and sorting your life out and just figuring out what on earth is going on. How many children does he have? Hundreds. Jess never wears condoms for women. Never. So, God knows what STIs he has caught or whatever, you know. Oh, Chanel. Guys, did I say Chanel or talk about Chanel? Me and Jess would buy me Chanel number 5, the same perfume as Jodie. What about men? I don't know. Unfortunately, narcs can't be cute, no. Devon, get a priest to hold you on, honestly. I need more than a priest. Needs an exorcism. That bitch needs an exorcism. Yeah, I've been checked. You want to know what, guys? I really didn't appreciate what he said on my live the other day that he left me. That he left me because my pee stinks. I thought, well, for a man on a business account to do that, that's awful. Like, I don't have a business account. Is he back with Jodie? Hell no! Hell no. Here's a video, he looks like he's cleaving. Listen, guys, when Jess is doing his cleaning videos, what I will tell you is, right, that's just like one area, you see. Jess doesn't, he's the most laziest person in the fucking world. He said he wasn't arrested. When? Have you checked on your daughter since going live? Oh, I can hear her. She's having a sleepover with her friend Chloe, so she's in the living room watching a film. She wrote in a letter. And they're watching a film, so it's absolutely fine. She's old enough to take care of herself. Like, you know, whilst I've been here. Not like, you know, actually. Do I? Oh my gosh, that is such a compliment. Thank you so much. Where is he living back now? With his mum? His mother wouldn't have him. I have a good heart, thank you. He seems to type that it's nasty to women, but with shit. Guys, you want to know more, right? This is what I do, kind of. In Amsterdam, Jess said, right, let me like back this camera up a bit, just so I can tell you. Jess, when he was in Amsterdam with me, he was like, Devon, do you know when people are like rearing for a fight? And I'm like, what? And he goes, it's because they back off a bit. They'll just like start like this, and then they back off. And I'm like, I'll just square up to you. Like, and I'll just start backing off. No, if I was ready for it and coming square up to you. So I knew Jesse was a bit of a pussy there and then when he said if he was ever rearing for a fight, you'd start walking away. He started walking backwards. I'm like, how are you going to fight them backwards? Do you think he's sleeping? No, I don't. He's got a missus. He's obvious God type. Oh, thank you. We are gorgeous. Jodie is stunning. Oh gosh, isn't she beautiful, Jodie? I love her so much. I just adore Jodie to the core. I used to wonder about him when he called Jodie a C on their Ouija. What? No! Joe, did you see that? Are you? I can't. No, sorry guys. That's not very nice. Thank you. Doesn't his new girlfriend have kids? Yes, that's right. Jodie was amazing, guys. Do you remember her from Jess's Lives when they were together? Even when Jess and Jodie were together, she still tried to support him with lives and what, you know, and whatnot. Is he now going to Canada with a new one? Yes, he is. Said he's taking her next week, I believe. So I feel sorry for her. I really do because, guys, I'm not here to attack this partner. I feel awful for her because she is me 14 months ago. How probably Jess is making me out to be to her is what Jess made Jodie out to be to me. So I hope she sees the light way sooner than what I did because she's moved over there with him with 4 children. God rest her soul, you know. Honestly, I'd be dead. Oh, I would be brokenhearted for her though. No woman deserves to go through that. No woman. So I'm hoping with speaking out and her seeing this, that hopefully she will wake up. I'm not doing any of this to get Jess back. He can naff off for all I care. Now I know who he is. And the person that I know who he is, I don't know who he is. Imagine being stuck in it. Sorry, what did that say? In a new country. Oh, guys! He used to say on his lives about 7-bedroom house. Was that true? Was it that big? Guys, it wasn't a 7-bedroom house, no. But Jess says, it can be converted into 7 bedrooms, though, babe. It can get converted into 7 bedrooms. Yeah, but is it 7 bedrooms, though? Jess said in his statement he had 6 kids with Jamie. Probably so. How did the abuse start? So the abuse would start with Jess going back to Jodie and start making out that it was in my head. Jess made out to me as well that I was in like a hate group. It wasn't, by the way. I have no clue what this group. And Jess would message me and be like, "You're a fucking cunt." And it was not me. It's not me! And then he blocked me and then come back. So the abuse started probably at the start of the relationship when he was accusing me to be a part of a hate group and insisting it was because I was a stranger and he just needed to make sure because he thought I was a cunt. And then he realised I wasn't. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, I didn't even know you before, like, you know, I had a reading. But it just makes you die. The group is actually for people who are being scammed. Honestly, though, guys, the abuse I would get of him, he called me a fucking cunt and everything. It was awful. I was like, I don't even know these people. If he goes to jail, I wonder if he'll... listen, if he's into men, he'll probably love it. And fucking live his best life, wouldn't he? Sorry. Oh god, from there. Is he actually a psychic? Like I keep saying, you can just go off how he treats his women. There's your answer. Hold on. Has he got any friends? Jess doesn't have any of the original friends that he had when I met him. None of them are still in his life. So Jess doesn't know how to form relationships and bonds with people, and it's really sad. Because Jess has an expiry for people, Jess has a use for people, and once his use for them is done, he's done. Do I trust myself to stay away and don't go, oh sure, of course. Of course. Who are his, I don't know who his admins are, sorry. I haven't got a clue. Did he hit me? No. Does he see his parents? He doesn't have a relationship with his father, and his mother lives in Essex. How are people so falling for his crap? What it takes for people like me, like Jodie, etc., to hopefully speak up and to wake people up to it. Because if it isn't for voices like us, then how are you guys supposed to know, you know? Like, we know him personally. We know him in his private life. We know him better than a stranger on a screen. And his followers, you know, just because they follow him, it doesn't mean they know him. Me and Jodie know him. Jess is an abuser, and this is why we're on here doing this, to save future women from any more of this type of fucking shitty, toxic, disgusting behaviour. No, exactly. Don't throw... Listen, guys, like, he threw me about that bedroom like a fucking ragdoll. Do you get what I mean? Like, there was no way that he could have done what he done in a... Like, what do you think he done? Dev, bang! Like, which one? Dev, get out the way! I'm gonna fucking knock you out the way! Like, what the fuck did he do? What the fuck did he think he'd do? Like, if you wanted to leave the room, Jess... You said I was so... He said I was so supportive. I was. If you wanted to leave the room... It's just as simple as that, really, isn't it? I couldn't walk. Honestly, hell, you were there. I was at your baby shower like this. Unable to walk. I had to go home early. Everyone was like, Dev, are you okay? I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm just in a bit of pain. I was in fucking brutal agony. Hiding from my friends, my family, that this man had just fucking launched me about the place like I was a fucking sandbag. Did he stand on my legs? No. He never wanged me, like literally used his hands and threw me about the place saying, how did I meet him? He gave me a psychic reading through TikTok. And he like literally threw me about the place screaming, I gave you everything, Jodie. I know I might be a beautiful girl like Jodie, but my name isn't Jodie. He left me for someone else. Oh, bless you. Sorry about that for you, darling. Thank you. I remember him on Facebook with his ex before. Which one? I'm hoping this will, I hope a lot more women will speak up and have the courage to because speaking up doesn't make you any less of a person. Guys, people's reactions are not a projection of ourselves, you know. That's a projection of themselves and the issue that is going on with them, you know. I know that in my heart, I was the best partner that I could truly be to Jess throughout the entirety of our relationship. I know, like, honestly, down to my core, that man I loved, that man I did everything for, that man I very much, I would have gone to war for, okay? But that man treated me like shit. That man literally just used my goodness and took full advantage of it, and then fucked it, you know. He had no care in the world for me. That man couldn't give a shit if I was dead or alive. He didn't when we were together, and he doesn't now. Guys, I'm so sorry for everyone that has gone through DV. Believe me when I say you were all amazing, and you know, you are strong and you are powerful, and to come out the other side says so much more, and I am so proud of you. Do I have him blocked? Of course. Who is he living with now? His new partner. Thank you. Guys, if it wasn't for Jodie, I wouldn't have had the strength to walk away, and I will always say that Jodie was the reason why I had managed to be able to just say enough is enough, you know. There's only so much a person can take before they just snap, and you know, the darkest of people can turn even the most nicest of people fucking insane. Do you get what I mean? He probably could be at home with his partner. If he's watching, then he's watching. He'll come for me, however way he chooses to come for me. Was he physically abusive towards Jodie? Guys, I'm not here to fully speak on Jodie's story, because that is her story to tell. But what I will say is, when she is ready, she will speak. Jodie was so nice in their lives. He used to talk to her like shit. You could tell Jess enjoys speaking to anyone like shit. He's got a superiority complex, you know. He will issue another cough. Honestly, what was all that coughing about? Did you see him on live as well? He looked really unwell. But the day before he looked great. Which one? Yeah, this is like the thing with everyone saying Jodie was amazing. Exactly. She was so amazing. So and Jess, like, honestly made her out to be this evil person. He said she's a woman scorned. No. Honestly, I didn't understand why he just kept coughing. I'm unwell. Just wait until you're better then. Just wait until you're better. Like, no one needs a sympathy vote. Just joined July so far. Sorry for what you've been through. He's on bail for coercive control. I do believe there's a warrant out for his arrest as well right now as we speak. Jodie Payne is an angel. Do you think there's to buy more time? Well, that's just fucking stupid, Dylan. You have no reason to buy time if you would just speak openly and honestly. Sorry. Do I believe he's a fake medium? Again, guys, all I can say is look how he treats his women. If you can fake a fucking relationship with people and just move on to the next so quick, then Canada, guys, I really don't know. But what I will say is, right, do you know if he does turn up to that airport, suitcase in hand, right? Could you fucking picture? I can picture it. Could you imagine, right? He turns up to the airport, suitcase in hand, goes checking. Get back to where you came from. You're not allowed in. You want to know what Jess says about like baby reindeer? You want to know what he says? That I was like Martha to Jodie, that I was like stalking him and I was in like psycho first, and I was like, dude, I'm your missus, like, I'm your wife, I'm your wife, like. He's probably got different passport. He when we went to Canada in August, he had just got arrested in July, and but he wasn't out on bail or anything. See, that's the thing. So this is why I'm wondering, am I married? No, we're not actually married. No, he just called me his wife. Oh my god, my ex called me. He called me baby reindeer though, but I'm not. But he would say to Jodie that I'm baby reindeer. It's awful. If he's not Italian, then what is he? Do I? A gobshite from Essex! I reckon he secretly fancies me and that's why he hates me. I reckon he secretly fancies me too and that's why he hates me. I reckon he fancies us all. So he says, I did see that. I thought, oh no. I reckon he fancies your mum and that's why he said her name. That's why he spoke about your mother. It's a mother he never had. Sorry. That was fucking awful, sorry. Actually probably fancies me. I said that to Adam. Adam probably says you fancy him because he fancies you. Did I hear he wanted to be with men too? I cringe when he proposed to honestly, I didn't even know that he proposed to her. I never even knew that he proposed to her until then I seen it. I was like, no. I guess how I seen it when he added me on Snapchat, right? When we were like quite a bit into our relationship. And I scrolled through his video and I seen an engagement. I was like, oh, he never told me. Yeah, guys, don't forget to follow as well because it means so much when you do and we can keep interacting and you can follow my journey. The support has been absolutely amazing and it means so much to me. You all are absolutely incredible. Do you have any more questions for me before I get off? Who does he have kids with? How did I deal with that horrible tutting noise? What horrible tutting noise? That one. We'll go from there. We need to start giving him it. I know, guys. That's what I didn't want to say anything. I wasn't gonna say. Listen, guys. You want to know what? Jess is from Clacton, yeah, and he said they should fucking build like monuments of him from there. And I'm thinking, given the way you are. I wouldn't want to build a monument out to you. I wouldn't want to build a monument over you. Clacton-on-Sea's fucking, you know, thingy of a... Where's he fled? No clue. Yeah, he's from Clacton. Thank you guys for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you all for following. It all means a lot. Are you from Clacton? But are you a good one or are you one of the bad ones? Are you a good egg or a bad egg? I just know that there's a warrant out for his arrest. Oh, darling! Oh, but you want to know what? Auntie Devon loves you so much, my little squidge. Did he gaslight me? Oh boy, did he ever! Sorry. The way he was saying, like, I know, honestly. Was he bad to the dogs? I don't know, sorry guys. I just do know that he shouldn't have fucking dogs though. He don't even look after them anyway. He just leaves them fucking warm, piss everywhere, shit everywhere. Like he just, I'm like, no, If he can't take care, fucking proper care of the dogs, then he shouldn't fucking have them, should he? You know? And I do agree. What did Jade say? I don't know. I never lived with him to see if he was bad to the dogs, but if he's not properly cleaning after cleaning. No, I lived with him for 24 hours if that counts, but I did live with him for a week in Canada and for a week in Amsterdam, if any of that counts. Did he say and we would go from there repeatedly in it? No, he didn't. No. You want to know what he would do though? This is what he would do. He'd ring me. Oh, guys, he'd always be on the phone to me. He says he has like 40, 50 clients a day. You're always on the phone to me. How do you have time for that then? Me and Jodie were talking about this. Like, he's either in B&Q, Tesco's, fucking walking the dogs, or he's out driving, or he's doing some fucking thing or another, right? How do you have all the time for that then? It's just like, yeah, guys, thank you for the follows. Thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. You're a beautiful soul. Thank you so much. On his life, he said he wouldn't move to Canada without his dog. Honestly, you want to know what? That really... And do you want to know what really affected me too? The other day, he said his best Christmas present would be to see of a woman getting arrested. That would make his Christmas. Not to see his daughter. I thought, well, if you call that a fucking Christmas present, the best Christmas present, then thank Christ I left when I did. Because that is a piss poor excuse for a fucking father, isn't it? How many kids does he have? Do I have a child with him? No. How many children does he have? About 7 or more. What did he do? We were in a 14-month relationship where a lot of domestic abuse happened. Sorry, he just messaged asking it. Oh, no, it's probably off a scam account. Does he see all of his kids? He doesn't see any of his children. I'm hoping that people will just get some awareness to DV and to DA, and you want to know what? People speaking up about it doesn't make us a bad person. The ones who are trying to tell people to shut up about it are the ones that really need to have a question and a little talk for themselves, you know. Why should I be silent? Why should I not be loud? Why should I live my life silently suffering from the pain that Jess has caused when I could be loudly preventing him causing pain to more women? Why would I do that? Why would I suffer in silence when I can heal loudly and help others to be prevented of any of Jess's fucking wrongdoings? Do you get what I mean? I'm going to be loud and I'm going to be proud. And if anyone who has an issue with me speaking my truth on my public platform, you know where the remove button is, you know where the block button is. I'm not going to lose any sleep on anyone who likes to silence a woman who has already been silenced for long enough. And that's my piece on it, sorry. Did he badmouth clients after his readings? No, but he did give Jennifer a past life regression, and obviously they can be quite traumatic, a little bit emotional, and you know, you're going to want to be, you know, aftercare is such a thing, and Jess has no aftercare, and he just left her to cry and walked away after the past life regression. Who's the child he's always cleaning up after? That's his daughter Winnie, who he was residing with until recently with his ex-partner Jodie. That's his 2-year-old daughter. Did he really have a breakdown like he said? Jess was shouting a lot, screaming, I gave you everything, Jodie, and my name isn't Jodie, but it doesn't justify him throwing me around the room. You know, I've had many a mental breakdown, you know, crying profusely. I've never got to hit anyone. Like, you know, or gone to from or on their own, or have called them another name. Why does he say you... We did have to fly home together in a public statement, so I had to go to the airport. I didn't have to, obviously. I could have stayed with him. I wasn't going to. I just went straight to the airport after putting him to bed, and I waited there. And we had to fly back together. And then the moment I got off the flight, I got in my car and drove straight home. Does that answer your question? No, that's Jodie. Jodie was on his lives with the longer hair, not me. I don't have any children with him, no. Thank Christ. No, it's not an excuse, and this is what I'm trying to say. Like, Jess did what he did, and it doesn't matter what excuse he uses, he still fucking did it. How can he say he's unintentionally guilty? You're either fucking guilty or you're not. Oh, absolute horseshit. He said I didn't break, you know, I have acrylics. I love getting my nails done, and my nail beds were ripped off from the acrylic, you know, from the acrylic snapping. It was awful. He changed his address last month to Harwich. What's Harwich? What's he guilty of? What's he not guilty of? He mentions there is more in his He mentions there is more to the videos of you showing you bruises. What do you mean? I don't know what that means, sorry. I could tell he was from the minute Harwich is an exit, it's the next place. Is it? How did Jodie find out about us both? Well, Jodie's fucking very interesting woman, and she could see from the start how Jess was speaking to me in his lives. So I think she had an inkling from the start. He's not living with any of his children. All of Jesse's children are safe from him. How do you know that he's not living with children? He's not living with any of his children. He's living with another person's children. How am I feeling now? Guys, I'm not gonna lie, since the day that I split up with Jess, and you want to know what? Jodie will probably tell you for months and months before I cried. I cried whilst I was with Jess, and I'll cry that I'm after, you know, that after him. Since the day that I split up with Jess, all I have done is cry and cry and cry, but I am starting to cry less and less. So, you know, if that goes for something, then I think that I'm starting to heal. Do I find it hard? Yeah. I find it really, really, really hard. It's one of the most hardest things to go through. But because I have Jodie and she's going through it too, it doesn't make it easier. But to have someone with me who's going through it too, to go through this shit alone, it's one of the most hardest pains ever. And what I will say as well, guys, when people are on Jess's life, especially his partner, guys, he, like, with a knock to the forehead, say that they're proud. I'm proud of you, babe. Well, you're proud. How can you be proud of a man knocking a woman to the ground? I said he didn't hit me. I said he never hit me. I never said he didn't do it. I need to take down his business if he's... quite a lot of people have been trying to take down his business for many a time, so I don't think I can just do anything. I don't think I can take down his business myself, personally, sorry. Those asking about Jodie's sides, yeah. Yes, Jodie wants to shield her daughter from this, and also, guys, like I said, it's not for me to speak for Jodie, and when she is ready and when she is willing and able, she will. You know, she will and she can. But Jodie has her own voice, and when she's ready to use it, she will. Isn't she lush, guys? Guys, I am getting super tired now though. So, is there anything that you want to know before I jump off? Because I am getting super tired. Thank you all for your love, for your support, for everything. Guys, please don't forget to follow. It means so much when you do. Guys, yeah, don't forget to give Jodie a load of love. I'm sorry. Am I healing? Am I happier? I'm getting there slowly. You know, it's a process. It's a day by day thing. I don't really have, like, you know, I don't really rely on much people for support. I'm more of like get through things myself kind of girl. So I'm healing in ways that are healthy. That I'm not going out. I'm not partying. I stay at home. Guys, I'm going back to law school in February. I'm studying to be a barrister. And this is like something that's really like big to my heart. So I'm so happy that within my relationship breaking down, that I've decided to work on myself and to, you know, just go and do things for me, and instead of I used to wait for other people to save me, and now I've realised that the only person that's going to save me is me. So I'm going back to school in February, and I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm healing and I'm getting better. Thank you. Slowly but surely. Oh my gosh, Mistress Media, are you drunk? Are you drunk?